Good morning. Hello everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy and today I'll be giving you a prediction reading for the 22nd of October. Now if you are new here, please subscribe. Hit the bell notification as well so you know my videos pop up. For everybody else, I hope you're having a great weekend. It's Saturday morning here. And yes, elephant in the room. I've got the curls today. I'm going to a function. A friend of mine is singing and we're just all getting together and they've got a really incredible voice. And Danielle, I know you love singing out there. You're part of a choir. So it's going to be great to just go along and catch up with people again. So I decided to go the curls today just to have a little bit of a change. I actually have got wavy, really wavy hair. I just straighten it. Just because I like it that way better. So I just thought it's very rainy, it's very wet here and I couldn't fight the curls anymore. So I had to go with it. So hence the different look today. So anyway, enough about me. Let's get on with the reading and let's see what comes up for today. Gosh, I'm getting the word prolific. And then I'm getting the word enormity. There's an enormity and a vastness to what's kind of going on. It's on a huge scale, and we know that here. We know things are huge now. It's almost like there's no kind of turning back. There's too much going on that it's out of proportion. So what the guides are kind of saying to me is that it has to wake people up because the enormity of what's going on is out of proportion. There's too much for people to not wake up, and that's what I'm getting from the guides. There's too much for people to not wake up. Gosh, Carl Vernon posted something this morning about they're gonna start selling the bug food. Apparently they're thinking about putting it in their shops so that the paupers and the peasants, which is all the little people, can afford to get their protein. Yep, that's basically what's going on. We've known that for a while now. They've already been trialling bug chips and all this kind of thing. So, you know. Anyway, I'll see where else we go today. But this is getting too big for people to not see it. And we know that. We've known that for a while. We're wondering why they can't see it, aren't we? Hang on a sec. Let's see where else we go. I'm getting Norway, Germany, Belgium, Munich, France, Poland. There is heaps happening over there. It's almost showing me like the igniting of the people though. It's like someone's put a match under the people and they've ignited their souls, I guess you could say, and lit them up. And it's caused a spark in these people that it's waking them up. So I do feel like because they're being hit so hard in these regions, I feel like they're being really woken up to what's in front of them, which has taken a while. But I am feeling there's a real ignition in the people now, which is great because that means they might start to actually stand up and fight back. Let's see where else we go. God, they're just showing me like, the guides are showing me like heaps of people trailing behind. So they're showing me like this pilgrimage. It's like a line of people. If you think about people that are destitute, leaving their country behind, there's an image that you get of people walking along with their like things tied up in fabric like on a stick. That's what they're kind of showing me, and it's like this pilgrimage, but it's everybody moving away. So I'm getting this image of people just sort of bedraggled, downtrodden, exhausted, moving away. And let's hope it's away from this reset narrative. But I'm getting that the people, and they're expressionless. It's showing me their faces are like expressionless. And there's, what the guides are saying is there's no meaning to their life anymore. So they have to move away from it. And that's what I'm getting. That's why I'm getting this vision of like, it's like people moving away from their country and just not knowing where they're going. Well, they're on the road to nowhere anyway, so they might as well get on a different road to nowhere. So that's what I'm getting is like this mass, like pilgrimage where people are moving, walking away, I guess you could call it, a walking away. God, I hope it's not people walking away from their mortgages and things like that, because we know that's going to happen financially. People are going to have to walk away. They're being forced to. Everything's collapsing in these people's lives, waking up people. Probably not us, we were prepared, we saw things coming, so we've had time to sort of do our homework and get ready. And that's the difference. But these people are now like moving on from, and I would say also they're moving on from their old lives. They are. They realise they're gone now. They realise their old lives are gone. A lot of them realise. Not all, I agree, but a lot of them are realising their old lives are gone. Hang on a second. And it's showing me like us. It's showing us like behind a barricade. And we're watching this march past, which is these people moving past. It's like, oh God, I'm getting this. This is the people waking up. I'm getting the acceptance. This is in the people waking up. I'm getting the acceptance of defeat. They're feeling defeated. And they're accepting it. But we're behind the barricades. It's like the barricades. Because we're removed from this pilgrimage sort of march going past. But we're not even clapping or cheering or anything. It's like we're just that relieved that people are finally seeing the truth. That we're kind of, oh, thank God. And we're kind of talking amongst each other. So it's like, oh, this is so good. Like, we're not like cheering and clapping and over the top ridiculous that you would expect at a big parade and that. We're not doing any of that. We're just so relieved that there's this turning point in, well, they're saying history, that there's this turning point in history. And we're observing it. I guess when you think of the barricade again, it's like, you know, sometimes we have to put up the walls for our own safety. We've put up Wilson's wooden fence in the garden, and we've had the big brick walls that we've built to sort of muffle the sounds. But now we've got the orange barricades. If you think about any procession or anything, they always put the big plastic orange fence things up or whatever you might have over where you guys live. And it's protecting us from that energy, that downtrodden, exhausted energy. It's protecting us. So we're staying in our sort of high vibe, like you high vibe out there, but we're staying in our high vibration and frequency because we don't do things from ego. Like, we've got through all that. We're not doing this because we're like, oh, we're not heckling from the sideline going, oh, we told you so. You should have listened to us 3 years ago. We told you not to take that shit and put in your body. And we told you all these things were collapsing financially, and we knew that they were trying to get us onto a digital platform. We're not doing any of that. It's the silence. We're remaining silent behind the barricade. And that's very important. We keep getting that from the guides. I know I'm getting tempted to post everything again on Facebook. I know you guys would be too. I wanted to post all about the bugs and everything, but then I thought to myself, well, what did the guides say? And they said silence, remember, the badge of silence. And the thing is that we want the people to find the information on their own, because when we feed it to them, as the guides keep saying, it pushes them away and they resist it and they'll go back again. So we want them to keep moving forward. So I'm getting that we're behind the barricade. And we're just observing everything. We're talking amongst ourselves, like as we do here on my platform and other platforms, and we're talking, but we're talking very quietly, and we're just observing from a safe vantage point yet again. So I am getting this like mass pilgrimage and people moving, knowing their past is gone, their old lives are gone, and they have to head in a different direction. I guess you could say now they're veering off the road to nowhere and they're heading somewhere. That's the image I'm getting for these people waking up. Let's see what else there is today. God, I'm just getting that fires are being lit now globally. Oh, this is so good. I did say October. See, you've got to remember, we don't see the half of what's going on in different countries. If we didn't have each other to communicate with here, for example, I share with you guys what's happening down under, or what I can basically find out down under. You guys know what's happening in Canada, you know what's happening in Sweden, you know what's happening in Ireland, in Wales, all these different places, America, just everywhere. And we share bits of information. New Zealand, we share these, not to forget London, we share all our information, and that's how we help each other to understand what's kind of currently going on globally. But I am getting the fires are really being lit globally. We know in the last few weeks, as we all know, the whole Liz Trust event that went on in England has been the most bizarre thing. It's just so confusing for the people in general. And people, see, these are the things that start to wake people up, because we're getting that here on Australian mainstream media too, about Liz Truss resigning, and they're showing 10 Downing Street and who's going to be next. And you know, it's all over. The Queen's dead, buried, gone, and let's move on and everything. And see, these are the things globally that are starting to ignite people. There's a lot of questions being asked now. So that's what I'm getting. I'm getting this. Fires are being lit globally. I know they are in New Zealand. I know you guys are a lot of these politicians, their approval ratings and that are really dropping. Jacinda Ardern's not popular at all in New Zealand, is she? And lots of others, you know. This is, we know Trudeau's probably not that popular, but Elbow, you know, he just sort of hides away in the background. But people don't have faith anymore in their governments, because it's becoming very obvious what's going on, that they're taking people down. So that's why we've got the fires being lit globally, and it's a good thing. Because when fires get lit, often what happens, the fires join together, and then it becomes a huge, big fireball that can't be put out. Let's see what else we get today. I'm getting Sweden, Denmark, Munich. Really hurting the cattle there. They're trying to really herd the people back in these areas and keep them quiet and shut them up. It's showing me the sewn up mouths. They're really trying to keep you people quiet over there. You're definitely getting fed very, very specific things on your media platforms now. Only the information, super censoring. They're censoring everything in these regions now. See, and I keep saying it, these regions, a lot of these regions are the trial areas. They're trialing what works. They're trialing what doesn't work. How do the people react to this? And remember, they can get everything off our feeds. They know how we react to things. They know what works, what doesn't work. It's not hard to narrow that down. So I'm getting that in those regions. You're getting very censored and fed specific information to, well, as we know, try and direct people onto a specific path. So they go down a specific route where the government wants to take them. Let's see where else we go. God, they're showing me this ping pong table, and it's like this game of ping pong, but we're not playing it, of course. They're showing me the government leaders are playing like this game of ping pong, so they're hitting the ball back to each other. So it's this game of, I guess it's that kind of last man standing kind of game, but they're hitting the ball back to each other. And I'm getting this kind of, well, you try this, and then we'll try that. And then if that works with you, then we'll try it. You hit it back to us, and then we'll try that, and then we'll hit it back to you, and we'll try this. I'm getting this ping pong game where I think if you think of ping pong, it's kind of a fast game that the ball just keeps pinging and ponging, and this is between the government leaders. I feel like this is the sharing of information. They're sharing what works, what doesn't work. Have you tried this? Maybe let's try this. See, we've got to remember they probably do a lot of, you know, we know they fly all around the countryside and meet up a lot, but they do a lot of Zoom calling, I think, that we don't all know about, where they connect a lot. They definitely connect a lot, and they share information. So that's why I'm getting this ping pong game. And at the moment, it's happening fast. There's a lot going on. If you think of a game of ping pong, a really fast, say, Olympic game of ping pong, it's so fast, you can't even see the ball half the time. It's not like, you know, a slow tennis match where you can see where the ball, even though they're pretty fast as well. But it's very, very quick. The information now between these government elites is becoming very, very quickly shared. And that's what I'm getting for the ping pong match. Oh my God, some of the things that are going on at the moment, it is nuts. Not even surprising to us that they're sharing all their what works and what doesn't work. Hit it back to you. You take the renewables. Oh no, we'll hit that to New Zealand, and she can work on the renewables for a while. See, they're swapping things around as well. They're hitting things back to each other. That's also what the guys are saying. So you do a little bit now on the renewables, electric cars, and then you hit that back to us, and then we'll do a bit on that. So this is what I said. They hit everyone too hard with everything, and it didn't work. It got people to wake up. Look at the Netherland farmers and all this kind of stuff. So they've had to backtrack, they've had to reassess, and they're having to stagger things so it's not so obvious. Oh my God, it's so frustrating, isn't it? That's why we're getting the ping pong game. It's such a quick game. of sharing information for the global elites. Hang on, let me see what else we get today. God, I'm just getting this funds are pouring in. Funds are really pouring in around, we know the Moderna factories. I've talked about that here a lot. But I'm getting that funds are pouring in. Okay. I'm getting that funds are pouring in around the medical community. I did talk to you guys here a while back about how Dan Andrews and New South Wales are building these corporate medical centres, and they're using them to, for example, to say they're taking the pressure off the hospitals and the ambulances, so people don't have to go there in an emergency. They can just go to these special medical centres. So it's all, you know, someone's getting the kickbacks from all of this, aren't they? Obviously, they're looking after their mates in these big medical clinics. And that's what I'm getting at the moment. There's the funds are starting to pour in to create more of the infrastructure, as we know, of their reset agenda. But I am getting that funds are starting to pour in now to make all this happen. So, I mean, we know their plans, but now I'm getting that the funds are coming in, so things are being built. So I'm sure that's not just here in Australia. I'm sure you guys will be hearing about these sort of things, clinics and things popping up. But of course, no one proceeds to tell anybody that, you know, even to go to your medical clinics in the future, this is all about the credit scoring and how healthy are you, and, you know, have you earned your right to be here? See, these are what people don't see in the future. We see it because that's how we look at things, but other people don't see. They think, oh, this is great. We're getting all this medical support now from Dan Andrews. Mind you, he had all this funding to improve his hospitals. Where did all that money go? Doesn't seem to have gone into the hospitals and things, because they're still striking and in uproar, and the ambulances are still banked up here in Australia all the time. And anyway, obviously they're starting to get the funding for their big rollout plans now around the medical. I'm getting that, and I'm sure it's happening where you guys are here, but it's definitely happening here in Australia. Hang on a minute. Yeah, it's just saying people are getting no relief from government. They're getting no relief at all from government. And as we all know, government promises the world. Look at Liz Truss, i.e. example. And Elbow was going to do everything, and they're going to give everyone all this, oh, we're going to work on the petrol costs and all this. Nothing ever happens. Everything's still going up, going through the roof. And people are just so confused now. They're just... And see, it causes... what it does to people, and this is why we're getting that sort of marching by pilgrimage energy, it makes people breathless. It's like if you're having, for example, an asthma attack or an anxiety panic attack and your chest gets really tight. That's what I'm getting for these people waking up. They're starting to get into that. I would say they're not even in the fear mode, to be honest. It's different to fear. Fear was around the jab, and if I don't get jabbed, you know, you're going to die and go to hospital and all that. Different fear. This is a panic fear, a panic anxiety, panic attack, where you can't get your breath, you're shallow breathing, and this is subconscious, this is internally. It's almost like if you think about like stomach ulcers and people getting all worked up inside, another example. This is what's happening to these people waking up. Their body is starting to tell them something isn't right, and these are major things that you have to respond to, because you can't keep going along in a panic attack state. You have to find ways to calm down your body. Now, we've all been through those processes, and that's why we're sort of where we are today. We've found that sense of calm, that sense of detachment, and a way to move forward with our lives in different ways. So now these people are going to have to learn how they're going to navigate this for their own health, and how they're going to find that light. Sort of, I've talked about that before, coming out of the tunnel. They've got to look for that light. Hang on a sec, I'll see if there's something else today. And see, that's what the guides are saying again. I got that song the other week by Angry Anderson called We Won't Be Beaten. It's such a good song. It's a bit of a meathead song, but it really suits our cause. Angry Anderson, the band is Rose Tattoo, actually. It's an Aussie band. We Won't Be Beaten. And the thing is, like, we won't be beaten, because there's enough of us in numbers that they can't take us down. Like, we're looking at a very small amount of people at the top, which we all know here, that are running this, I always call it the Ponzi pyramid scheme, and they're just trying to squash everybody. And I'm getting that we won't be beaten. So we have to really stay united and true to our cause, because nothing's impossible. And that's kind of what the guides are saying to us today. Nothing is impossible, especially when your movement is growing, and we know that it is. It's almost showing me, like when I talk about our blob movement growing and how it's all sticky. I often talk about the movie The Blob and how our waking up movement is like this blob that just keeps getting bigger and bigger and keeps just rolling along, and things stick to it as you go. Well, it's showing me there's like the trail of the blob behind, and that's okay because it keeps coming with us as well. We're not just this perfect circle. We've got things kind of dragging behind, which is the people waking up, and they're starting to sort of stick to it as well, and then that moves along as well behind the big blob movement. So I'm getting that our movement is really growing, and we won't be beaten, which is nice to know, isn't it? So just keep staying in our safe place and feeling free and feeling strong and positive. That's very important to our own health and well-being. Let me see if there's something else today. Hang on a minute. Oh, they're giving me, we had Cyndi Lauper the other week, didn't we? Time After Time. But today they're giving me that song, True Colours. I see your true colours shining through. Someone told me I look like Cyndi Lauper on here once. Oh my God. I didn't know whether to take it as a compliment or an insult. No, I like Cyndi Lauper. She's so funny, isn't she? I did love her voice too. I really love Cyndi Lauper. So I'm getting that true colours. And I think what the guides are saying, we have to stay in our true colours. It's very important because people will see that shining through. And that's what also helps people waking up. Like I said, we're behind these barricades, but we're not cheering and clapping, yay, you finally woke up, you stupid idiots, and why didn't you see this before, you morons? We're not kind of doing that kind of thing. We're actually, we're just being humble because we don't do things from ego. We stood up in the beginning because we knew people were going to lose their freedoms. We knew people were going to get injured by these jabs. We knew the spike proteins were a problem and it would affect people's immunities. But what can we do? There was nothing we could do because the mass psychosis shut people out. But now people are starting to see our true colours. And that's what I'm going to leave you with today. That beautiful song by Cyndi Lauper, True Colours. We're beautiful like a rainbow. No, go and listen to that song. I'm sure there's a meaning in there today, guys. And look, I'll say have a great Saturday and a great weekend, everybody. I'll come and do a video tomorrow. I'll go off to my singing event. The guy I know who's singing is just an amazing singer. He actually sounds a little bit like Josh Groban. I hope he sings You Raise Me Up So I Can Stand on Mountains, because I do love that song. But he's got a brilliant voice just like that, so I'm really looking forward to this afternoon. All right, well, take care, everybody. Enjoy whatever you're doing out there. Chat to me down below. You know I love hearing from you, and I'll talk to you very soon. Hit the like buttons, guys, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye. Bye from Australia. Bye, everyone.